By the end of watching this video, you will never ask the question again, which intensity is best for me? Low intensity, moderate, high intensity? I'm going to tell you exactly how to figure out the best intensities for you on the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift in order to get stronger. Most guys stay as intermediate lifters for life because they have no predictability or no systematic approach to their training. You jump from one template to the next. You do 5-3-1 to GZCL to Candito's program. Every time you start a new program, you feel really excited. You think this is going to be the one that gets me stronger. Then you get to the end of it, week 12, no PRs again, and then you jump to the next program, rinse and repeat. You need a more predictable way to get stronger. You need a systematic approach that gives you a clear path towards getting stronger so that you know if I do this, I get stronger. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. So if you want me to just do this process for you, don't have to spend time watching this video. I'll literally just figure it out for you. Top link in the description, hire me as your personal strength coach. I'll individualize your program over weeks and months. Or second link if you just want to run some of my strength training programs that incorporate the ideas in this video. So let's get straight into it. How do you figure out the best intensities for your squat, bench press, and deadlift? How do you know whether you should do low, moderate, or high intensity? And I'm going to make it so simple. So when I have a client who is struggling to figure this out, they don't know which intensities to use for which lift, I have them go through a very simple process. We run a 3-block strength cycle. So each block is around 4 to 6 weeks. I determine that with the client based on their time to peak and a few different variables. And we basically run through 3 blocks of 4 to 6 weeks. And what we do is block 1 is low intensity, block 2 moderate intensity, block 3 high intensity. We collect data during each of those blocks. We block review in between blocks. Then at the end of that whole process, we know, okay, squat does well with moderate intensity, bench with high intensity, deadlift with low intensity. It's that simple. And then we run another cycle using those intensities and we lean further into them. So if we determine that deadlift did well with low intensity, we might lean into really low intensity. And then we just continue that process. And then down the line, I've got some lifters who I've coached for 3, 4, 5 years. Their training program is very individualized and they know all I have to do is do this, I get stronger, and then we just make small changes block to block, and it's that simple. So let me tell you exactly how to do it. So the first block that we run is the low intensity block, and I'm going to put some of the figures on the screen. So here I'm defining low intensity as about 60 to 67.5%. It could go up to like 70%. That's the kind of range. Let's say 60 to 70%. Now, we are still going to do some top sets of 1 to 3 reps at 80% and above. That stays in regardless of the block, okay? Regardless of low intensity block, moderate, or high, but it might change a little bit depending on the block. So in this low intensity block, probably going to do a triple around 80%. So it'll start with like a triple and RPE 5. Then we're going to do our volume work of 4 to 6 reps in that 60 to 70% range, okay? So that's what I'm classifying as low intensity. We're going to do that for the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. That's our low intensity block. The moderate intensity block that we're going to move into after that one is going to use intensities of about 67.5% up to about 75-ish%, okay? So about 70-75%, somewhere in that range. Again, we're going to do that top set, but this time instead of a triple, it might be a double, okay? Just to increase the intensity a little bit. Then our volume work is going to be sets of 3 to 5 reps in that 67.5 to maybe 75% at the top end. That's our moderate intensity block. Third and final, we do the high intensity block. Now in this high intensity block, we're going to do a top single. So it went triple, double, single. We do the top single at 80% and above, Then we do our volume work in the 72.5 to 80% range, or it could be 75 to 82, 85%, somewhere in that general range, okay? Volume work's going to be sets of 2 to 4 reps in that 72 to 80, 85% range, okay? That's just the broad range. And now we've got 3 distinct blocks, and we've got some data to work with, and we can determine which lift does best with which approach. Now, run that 3-block cycle. Then at the end of that process, you just need to ask yourself a few questions. Like, did each lift feel like it was appropriately stimulated and it got stronger? Or did it feel fatigued or understimulated? Then you can start to understand, do I need to increase the intensity for that lift? Do I need to decrease it? So for me personally, and I've refined this approach over years and years and years in my own program, and I worked with a coach as well, I found out that my squat thrives on very low intensities, like really low intensities. Like even when I squatted close to 250 kilos, I was doing sets of 4 with 150 kilos at the peak of my block. That was the heaviest I went, sets of 4 reps. My bench press does best with moderate to high intensities. I do well with lots of peak intensity, meaning lots of singles or doubles throughout the week. And then I like my volume work to be slightly higher rep, higher volume. I seem to do really well on that. And then my deadlift does well with low to moderate intensities. So similar to the squat, but not quite as extreme. And I figured that out over months and years. And now when I come to sit and plan out my strength block, it's so simple. I use those metrics, plan the block out, I know exactly what to do. There's no guesswork, there's no unpredictability. I don't have to jump from program to program. I just know, I just do this. This is my block. These are my intensities that work. It makes the process so simple. Now, I've done this for literally hundreds of guys. I've figured out their programming, made it really predictable for them. If you want me to do the same, again, top link in the description. We'll jump on a call. We'll figure out the right intensities for you. We'll map out a plan, get you on a program and start actually getting you strong. Or if you want something a bit cheaper, just go second link. You can follow my programs. And these use intensities that I've kind of observed with all my clients that seem to work really well, okay? So this process doesn't take too long, and if you take anything from this video, please, as soon as you can, if you're a like beginner to intermediate guy, try and escape that trap of jumping from program to program to program as soon as possible. You're wasting a bunch of time because there's no predictability. You're literally just experiment, jump from different programs. It's not giving you any direction. Sure, you might pick up small things, but you have to have some kind of systematic, predictable approach, because basically over your training career, we're just trying to get closer and closer and closer to what's optimal training for you. It's really hard to do that if you're jumping from various different programs that use way different approaches to each other. Like 531 is way different to like GZCL or Candito's program, for example. It's really hard to collect data from those. So if I could give you any kind of advice, use a systematic approach, collect data, make small changes over time. If you don't know how to do it, hire someone to help you do it, okay? I really hope this video helps you to improve your strength training. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on this approach you want to ask me personally, ask in the comment section down below. I've got a free training program for you here as well. It uses a lot of the concepts I discussed in this video, similar intensities, so you can just go steal that and go run it. And then once it stops working, come back to me and I'll help you out, okay? Subscribe for future strength training videos. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will catch you in the next video.